Hello everyone, I'm Caz Galloway. I'm here from Pagan Pride UK and I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about our organisation and the festival we run. Pagan Pride UK was formed in 2010 and our main goals are to support accurate representation and to promote a more positive image of modern paganism. As we all know, there are a lot of negative stereotypes out there which do everything from compare paganism to demon worship to ridiculing us or making us figures of fun, and we're out to combat all that really. We do that in a few different ways. One of them is doing things like this, and we also work with the media. Several members of our team work with the press, so we've had people featured in national and local television, on the radio, a lot of people featured in print, talking about what it's really like to be a pagan, what our community is like, and just combating some of the misinformation that's out there. We also attend a lot of events up and down the country. So some of these are pagan events, but others are just public festivals. And what we try and do there is talk to people about what paganism is really about what it's like to be a modern pagan, what our worship might involve, the diversity of different paths underneath the pagan umbrella. And again, just getting some information out to the general public. But the main thing we do is we run our festival, which is the main thing I'm here to talk to you about today. So this year's festival will be held on the 7th of August at the Arboretum in Nottingham. We also have a parade, which I'll talk a little bit more about later. And both the festival and the parade aim to both bring the pagan community together to celebrate it, and again to help give some more information to the general public to combat some of those negative stereotypes. So as I say, one of our principal goals is to celebrate the modern pagan community. So this starts first thing on the day, where at 10:30 we all gather down in the Old Market Square to get ready for the parade. The parade leaves at about 11:30 and makes its way up to the Arboretum, and it's really a big celebration of the diversity within our community. Aside from the fact that many of us come from different pagan paths, we have families there, we have single people there and couples, we have people in jeans and t-shirts, people in ritual clothing, some people like to wear costumes, there's chanting and dancing and singing, and it's just this joyous expression of everything that's wonderful about the pagan community. And it's just really great for the public to see that and to just see this really positive representation, this parade that isn't militant, isn't negative in any way, it's not a protest, it's just saying, we're here, we're pagan, we're proud, get used to it. After the parade is the festival, which again I'll give you a little bit more information about in a while. But again, the festival is all about celebrating us as a community, what makes modern paganism special, what makes it important, and celebrating each of us as a person as well. So the festival is a great chance again to show the diversity within our community. One of the ways we do this is we have a community area which is full of representations from different pagan paths and different pagan groups. Again, there's people from all paths at the festival. There's lots of the general public too, and again, when they see this big, positive, joyous occasion, it helps combat a lot of the negative misinformation that they get about paganism. It helps them see that actually we're just normal people who know how to throw a really good festival. The other goals, as I've said, is we're about education, because education breeds understanding and tolerance, and unfortunately the misinformation out there has led to bullying, discrimination, and even attacks on members of the pagan community. So we're hoping that by providing more information about paganism, we can help combat this a bit. We do this in a few different ways at the festival. So as I mentioned, the community area, which is full of stalls from different organisations, like we've had the Pagan Federation there, we've had the Druid Network there, we've had Wicca organisations there. There's lots of different organisations that will be based there. I'm not sure who this year yet, but watch the website. As well as that, we also have a series of short talks there. So these talks tend to be about 15 minutes to half an hour, and they're all about teaching people more about paganism. So whether or not people want to learn about a specific pagan path, so somebody might want to know more about Wicca or Druidry, about one of the northern traditions, and they might want to learn about polytheism, So they could come and listen to one of those talks, or they might just want to know more about paganism in general, and those talks are there to just give people a little more information about the real truth behind these paths. We also have 4 other speakers venues across the park, and these are full-length talks on everything from the different paths to related subjects like mindfulness and herbalism. We have Tony Rotherham coming this year to talk about Robin Hood and the legend and mythology around him. We've got Taz Thornton, who's a shamanic worker, and she's going to be coming to do some talks for us as well. There's also storytelling and just so much going on. And again, it's just a chance for people who normally won't get the chance to find out about paganism to come and learn a little bit more and to see what modern paganism is really like and the truth about us. Okay, so a little bit more information about the festival. As I say, we start off with a parade in the morning, which gathers at 10:30 down in the Old Market Square. If you're a local, we gather at the Left Lion. If you're not a local, look for the Tourist Information Centre. The parade leaves at about 11:30, but try and get there for about 10:30 because it gives our marshals time to get everybody organised. The way to the Arboretum is all roads and pavements, so it's nice and smooth. However, if you do struggle to go up hills, the parade may not be for you because there is a bit of an upward slope towards the end. The parade arrives at about 12 o'clock for the opening blessing, and then we're ready to kick off the festival and have an amazing day. The festival is held in the Arboretum, which is covered in pavements, so while you will have to go on the grass to get to certain venues, shouldn't be too difficult for anybody to get around the park. As well as the 4 speakers venues that I've mentioned, we also have an arts tent, which is one of our newer venues. It's only been with us for a couple of years. This year it's going to be headlined by Corvus, who are an amazing folk duo who you might have seen if you came last year or if you recently went to the Staffordshire Pagan Conference. They're amazing, I'm so looking forward to seeing them. We also have the family area, which is for those of you with young children. There's activities going on there, there's toys to play with, all free. The only thing you might need to pay for if you want to is to get your face painted. This year here we're also having mermaids there, which will be super exciting. Down at the main stage we have the incredible Incubus Succubus headlining. We've had some amazing bands there over the year and we're so excited to welcome Incubus Succubus back, as well as all the other amazing bands on the day. Again, watch the website, watch our social media, and you'll see more information about who's on the lineup this year. As I say, we've got 4 speakers venues, so we have the 2 speakers forums, we have the Green Man Tree, and we also have the Rose Garden, and there will be a variety of free talks and workshops going on there throughout the day. I've already mentioned Taz Thornton and Tony Rotherham. We have a lot of other people coming. Again, watch the website, we'll put all the information up on there soon. As well as that, we also have the Dance Arena, which this year is hosted by Blackvale Tribal Belly Dance. There's going to be a ton of performances going on there all day from all sorts of different dancers, so whatever you like, be sure to check that out. Over at the community area, I've already mentioned that we've got talks and things going on. The community area is going to be hosted this year by the Staffordshire Pagan Conference, so if you went there recently, you know what an amazing job they did organising it. They're the ones organising the community area this year, so be sure to check that out. We also have the market. The market is absolutely packed this time. We sold out of pictures in record time, so bring some pennies, you're going to want to spend some money there. There's going to be plenty of food and drink. Again, we'll post details of all of this soon. And it's just going to be an amazing day out. We'll post all the lineup as soon as we can and tell you who's going to be there. I know some people have had some questions about accessibility, so I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. Getting to the park, what we recommend is we do have some blue badge parking on site, but due to the site it is quite limited. We will post on our social media, on Facebook probably, when we're opening up bookings for blue badge, but it usually goes really quickly. So what we suggest as an alternative, there's a place called the Forest Park and Ride, which is the general parking we recommend for the festival because it's nearby. It's about 10 minutes walk from the festival ground and it's free. However, anybody who doesn't want to walk or who isn't able to walk from the forest, because there is a bit of a slope there is a tram stop right next to the Park and Ride. Nottingham trams, you can look them up on Nottingham Express Transit. They all have low floors, they have clear markings on the floors, there's lots of extra room for buggies and wheelchairs, there's audible and visual announcements at each stop, so they're really accessible. They have a really great accessibility policy, and I do recommend contacting them if you have any concerns. From the Forest Park and Ride, it's literally only one stop on the tram, so you'll only be on the tram for about a minute, so you want to jump on a tram that's heading back towards town, so it should be heading to Station Street or Towton or Clifton. You want to go one stop and get off at the high school stop, and you're literally right outside the gates to the Arboretum. The Arboretum itself is pretty accessible. There are paths running all over it which should get you to most places in the park. Some venues you might have to go over some grass, but this should be a fairly short trip because, as I say, there's plenty of paths everywhere. There are also disabled access toilets on site. So we are investigating some other ideas this year, so for instance we would like to have a quiet spot where anybody who might be prone to panic attacks or who just needs to take a little time out or feels overwhelmed can just go and take some time out. This kind of thing, we are investigating the possibility. We will post more about that as it happens. Something that's really important to us is we do want the festival to be as accessible as possible. This is one of the reasons why the festival is free, because we want everybody who wants to come to be able to come. So if you do have any problems on the day, please contact a marshal, just ask them about it, and we will do what we can to help. We will have first aiders on site if there's any problems, so again, get in touch on the day if you need to. If you have any questions beforehand about accessibility or anything similar, you can email me. My name's Caz Galloway. My email is events@paganpride.org.uk. That's events@paganpride.org.uk. We do aim to improve accessibility year on year, however we really need our community's help to do this. So if you feel that you could make us some suggestions, we do have an access consultation on our website, or as I say, you can email me directly with any suggestions. We are a small team, there's about 6 to 8 of us usually working on the festival at any one time, and we have limited resources, so any help we can get from the community is really appreciated. Speaking of, we want to encourage as many people as possible to get involved and volunteer on the day. Applications for volunteers are open and will be open probably right up until a week before the festival. So if you have any concerns but you'd like to marshal, if you have a disability, which means that you might want some adaptations to your schedule, or if we can offer you any help at all, please get in touch with us. You can get in touch with our Chief Marshal, Emma, at marshals@paganpride.org.uk. We do have marshal positions that are fairly stationary, so if you have limited or reduced mobility, you can still apply to be a volunteer. And we can accommodate most forms of disability from our volunteers, and we will do whatever we can to help you get involved with the festival. So if you want to get involved and you want to volunteer on the day, please contact us. As I say, you can contact Emma, our Chief Marshal, or you can get in touch with me. We are happy to answer your questions. We would also really like to encourage any speakers out there who would like to run a discussion group for how we can improve accessibility to our community in general to get in touch with us. It would need to be somebody who's fairly confident, maybe somebody who's run a discussion group before, preferably somebody who has lived experience of being disabled within the pagan community. As I say, this would be a discussion group, so it would be about everybody getting together to give us some ideas, both for Pagan Pride UK and for anybody else who's running events or moots or groups within the pagan community, just so that we can improve accessibility to anybody who wants to take part. Something else I'd like to talk to you about is Pagan Pride UK Anglia. We're really excited about this. This is our first branch organisation, and they're running their first festival next year, so put it in your diary. It's going to be the 27th of August in Milton Keynes. Find their page on Facebook. It's Pagan Pride UK Anglia. We will post links as well, and you'll find out more about their festival as they plan it. Please support them and support their team as they plan their first event. It's going to be an amazing thing for the Anglian community, but anybody else is welcome to go as well, and we hope as many of you as possible will attend both festivals. Okay, so that's it from me today. If you have any questions at all, as I say, you can get in touch with me on events@paganpride.org.uk. Check out our website, which is www.paganpride.org.uk. You can find out all about getting involved and what's going to be on at the festival. Other than that, have a merry solstice and enjoy the rest of the event.